Hey ladies and gentlemen, how's it going? Welcome to episode number 11 of Force the Funny. I'm your host Michael as always. Casey is not with us today, she is busy working. But anyway, got a good episode ahead for you. Got a new segment to introduce later. Should be fun, and then got a good closing story to tell you about from the other day. So first thing we're going to start off with in this episode is I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about my new morning routine, sort of, and the routine I do before I start recording this and working on this. How the changes I'm making are really helping not only me feel good and feel up to this task every day, but also just feel better in general and be more creative and my mind more open and able to think and do this. I'll talk about that. And then afterward, I got a new segment that we're going to do. We're going to go through a subreddit and pick out some funny things to look at. That should be fun and entertaining for a good little while. And then I'm going to tell you guys about the other day when I went to San Francisco to go skate around with my homies and had some fun. So without any further ado, welcome to episode number 11 of Force the Funny, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, and we're here. We are here, and we are in it. So first things first, I recently have been, in part due to this book over here in the corner, I could turn it this way if you guys can read that. Here you go. Own the Day, Own Your Life by Aubrey Marcus. He's the owner of a supplement company named On It. And somebody I really respect in life and look up to, so I'm reading his book. It's about the steps you can take not only to just live a healthier life in general, but literally breaks down living one great day and owning one day by itself and then setting you up to do the same thing the next day. Yeah, it's kind of a self-help book. My lady likes to tease me about that, but it's whatever. I like it's got a lot of facts and information and things in it that I really have been taking in and have been really helping me not only physically but mentally too. So one of the things that I've really taken from this book is how I begin my day and how I kind of start going and start moving. So the first thing I do, I usually wake up around 8 a.m. and then the first thing I do is I go downstairs with my hydro flask and I go put empty, and I go put 5 shakes of sea salt into it, and then I fill it up with water, and then I drink about half of it, and then in a few minutes, like 5 minutes, I drink the other half. And what's really important about doing that is, one, your body dehydrates when you sleep, but it also, along with dehydrating, you lose a certain amount of minerals and metals that you need to function properly. And so by having the first thing you do in the morning is drink sea salted water, you're not only rehydrating, but the sea salt also replenishes all those minerals that you've lost during the night. And it also tells your body to retain that water that you just drank instead of just flushing it through your system quickly. So that's one thing that, like, immediately once you get out of bed and do that, you feel great and feel ready to go. And then I do 20 minutes of yoga. I found this really cool app called Down Dog, and it's $5 a month if you go to their website and subscribe. It's $7 if you do it through the app. I'm not sure why. But if you go to their website and subscribe, it's $5 a month, and then it's basically, you set the parameters, and it's a randomly generated yoga session every time. And you can set it for however long you want it to be. I usually do 20 minutes with 2 minutes of Shavasana. If you don't do yoga, Shavasana is when you're just basically laying on your back at the end with your eyes closed, sort of meditating. So yeah, I do that every morning for about 20 minutes, and then I go outside for about 15 minutes and meditate with this app called Headspace, and it's basically just guided meditation. So I go and do that, and then I come inside, and I'll usually I've been getting away from hopping onto screens and entertainment right away in the morning, so I've been really doing my best to steer clear from getting on Instagram right away or from just turning on a podcast or something on YouTube right away in the morning. So after I meditate now, I usually sit down and try to read 1 or 2 chapters in my book or in any book that I'm working on, and then after I read, it usually takes about an hour to an hour and a half usually. So once I'm done with that, I've been recently really getting back into writing. Not like anything in particular, just like the other day I wrote 5 pages about the hiking trip that Casey and I went on. And then the last few days I've been working on just writing about my day in San Francisco with my friends, and trying to make it not just factually accurate, but also interesting for me, I guess. Like, I'm not writing it for anybody necessarily to read in the future, but it is important to me that it's not just this happened and this happened and this happened, that it's actually kind of a flowing story, because I find it really helps not only get stuff out of my head so I don't have to think about it anymore, but also helps to get my creative brain going in the morning and get me kind of into this mode of making things and like of forming full thoughts and opinions and stuff, So I've been doing that recently, and so I'll sit down and write. Maybe I usually try not to do it too much because I don't want to get just stuck into it for a few hours or something, which I mean wouldn't be bad, but it's not my intention with it. So I usually limit myself to like a page and a half to 2 pages. I usually shoot for a minimum of a page and a half, but the other day I found myself going on 3 and then add another 2. So yeah, I've been doing that, and that's been really helping, I found, the last few days, of just getting my brain, like I said, in that mode of creation and of full thought formation and thinking, and just gets me mentally ready as the yoga gets me physically ready. So then after that, I'll come over here and sit down, and sometimes I'll turn on a podcast in the background because editing can get boring when I'm not recording, because it's just usually, so I'll sit down, and it usually takes me 15 to 20 minutes to finally hit the record button, and then another few seconds to get going on this. But that's been my routine recently, and then after that I'll edit and all the good stuff, and then you guys see it in the evening, because I'm still not ahead of myself yet. But so that's been my routine recently in the morning, and I don't know, I've found it's been, and then I eat breakfast at 10, so usually when I'm done reading, right before I write, I'll go and make breakfast, something keto. I like that low carb lifestyle, so something usually high in fat, bunch of protein, and then just ungodly amount of vegetables, the right kinds of vegetables, not just any vegetables. And then doubled my omega-3 fatty acid supplement, so I take 2 of those every morning with breakfast, and I have vitamin B12 with breakfast. And then I don't like to drink water, because I found out recently that drinking water or lukewarm beverages or whatever dilutes your stomach acid and actually inhibits digestion more than it would help. So it's better to drink after you've eaten than to drink while you're eating. But yeah, so I found that doing all that and really having kind of I forgot to say one more thing. The very, very, very first thing I do before I go down and get water is I get up and I make my bed. That's just something I got from Jordan Peterson from his 12 Rules for Life. It's one of his books. And it's something that I find if you just start your day completing one simple task that seems meaningless but really does make you feel legitimately better when you're done, because you get to look back at a nice clean bed ready to go for the next sleep. I find if you start your day with that one little win, it's kind of just sets the motion for the rest of the day, and like kind of already gets you going down a positive mental path, I should say. Yeah, it kind of gets you going on a positive mental path. And so yeah, that's the first thing I do. But I've found that doing all this stuff now in the morning and having kind of a routine, and not just waking up and then looking at my phone and then watching something and then trying to get into all this, I find that by keeping myself not only physically but mentally occupied in the morning and having a structured kind of transition into this cycle of, I guess you would call it work, into this cycle, has really helped me get into this and be able to do this more regularly and with more efficiency and efficacy. So just something for you guys to think about, and a little insight into what I'm up to, and maybe hopefully by me sharing this with you, you decide to make some good choices for your mornings too, and maybe you see the benefits that I'm seeing as well, or more benefits, or I don't know, but I hope that by just getting this out there, I can help some of you guys in maybe making more out of your mornings than you already do. Obviously, I missed a little stuff here and there, but it's not significant. Alright, so I'll stop boring you guys with my daily bullshit, and let's get into a little bit of entertainment, shall we? Today I got a new segment for you guys. Don't really have a name for it. We're just going to go over to Reddit. Okay, guys, so we're going to be going through a Reddit that I found called Are Insane People Facebook? Not exactly 100% sure what's inside of this Reddit, so we're going to both jump in blind together and check it out. So let's go. Alright, first things up. Bella, I'm uneducated, and that gives me the right to be rude and insulting to people who know better than me. So looks like a comment on Facebook, and it says, I mean, I've done plenty of research. I'm a scientist and a double major in biochem. I'm also autistic. I'm still up to date on all vaccines, and I always opt for the optional ones too. But go off, Bella. You misspelled I'm retarded because I keep putting the poison in my body that made me this way. Woo! Jesus Christ. People nowadays with these vaccinations, man. Vaccinate your kids, people. My God. You heard polio, or what was it, polio or smallpox or something made a debut again in New York? Vaccinate your children. Sorry, water break. Women shouldn't say bad words. Retweet if you agree. Damn, it has 1,200 retweets. And then a comment by Kaj Erickson. Hello, Nick. I'm a reporter with KLWG in Boise. I'm doing a story on men that have never pleasured a woman sexually. May I use your tweets? That should be on our owned. That's great. Oops, destruction of someone else's property. Oops, I'm so clumsy, y'all. I tripped and fell in my doctor's office while waiting for the doctor to get us, completely removing the BMI chart taped to the wall. It's the funniest thing, really. I somehow got the chart and even the tape bits, evidence, stuck on the wall and afterwards off too, and they ended up crushed in a ball at the very bottom of the trash can. I just have no idea how I managed to do that. I'm just thankful I didn't hurt myself in the process. Oh, wow. So it's okay, I get it. You're a fat person and you're mad at that the BMI scale tells you that you're obese because you don't want to do anything about it. Ah, God, this channel is just going to come off as a giant fat shaming. Wow. Alright, here's one. 98% of Hollywood. Okay, so this might surprise a lot of you, but 98%, if not more, of Hollywood are transgender. I don't have time to post links for grown-ass people either. Go do your research. This is another rabbit hole you can go down. I'm not gonna hold your hand. This person is legally retarded. 98%, if not more, of Hollywood are transgender. You read a couple of headlines or something, huh? What conspiracy theory is this? I think we just found another video, guys. We're starting a conspiracy channel. What the hell is wrong with people? Alright, this is Carol. She's a member of the Episcopal Church. She's a mother of 6, 2 of them dead. She's a proud virgin, but a mother of 6. Love Jesus Christ. She's anti-vax, which would explain the 2 of them dead. Oh yeah, and just underneath, rip Angela and Dennis. Screw polio. Maybe if you vaccinated your children, they wouldn't die of a dead disease. Whoa! That's strange. Usually you find these kind of people on the far left, but looks like this lady decided, fuck that, I'm voting Make America Great Again, along with anti-vaxxing. That's incredible. That's going in. This person should not be allowed to have children. This person asked an anti-vax community, can I still get my baby ears pierced without being vaccinated at 3 months? So you're not cool with life-saving vaccinations, but you're totally fine with piercing a 3-month-old baby's ears and possibly getting them infected? Oh, these kind of people, they really just don't think. They really just follow whatever anybody tells them, don't they? My lord. So sad. Sad. People like this amuse me. Warner Brothers over Disney, Harry Potter over Star Wars, DC over Marvel, Bugs Bunny over Mickey Mouse. Facts. I'm sorry, but Disney and its garbage properties will never be as iconic as Warner Brothers and its legacy. If you think otherwise, you're brain dead millennial virgin. Bro, you're a brain dead millennial virgin for posting this. Like, oh my God. I couldn't tell you 4 things I gave a fuck less about. Grow up, dude. You're the brain dead millennial virgin if this is what you really get fired up about. Disney and its garbage properties. Fucking watch a different movie, bro. Ah. This dude just got called out right on Facebook, bro. I guess somebody changed their relationship status, and then somebody said, Facebook official, congrats. And I guess the other party updated with, should change the date on this. We've been having an affair for longer than that. Damn! Damn! I hope this person just came out of a marriage, and that's what the lady put. That's fucking hilarious, dude. Talk about whoosh, smash, bang, get blasted, bitch. Hashtag roast. Ew. That's disgusting. Somebody posted, I guess on the Facebook marketplace, Apple earbuds like new, $17, and they're fucking filled with earwax. I mean, honestly, it's $17 though, and you could clean it, but good lord, clean your ears, dude. Where, just fuck. That's gross. Alright, let's end this one on a good note. Right here, ladies and gentlemen, the guide to eating ass. 1. Be offered ass. 2. Inspect ass. 3. Okay, that's well enough of the internet for me. Good lord. I try to go out and find these fun posts and these funny things to look at on the internet, and it's so constantly filled up with political propaganda and satire now that it's so hard to sift through all the bullshit and just find good old wholesome funny shit, But we manage and we continue. So I promised to close out this episode by telling you guys about my day in San Francisco the other day. Anyway, so Friday, I went to San Francisco to go hang out with my buddy David and my buddy Eric. So I left Livermore around 11:15, got on a bus. From the bus, got on BART, which was actually really smooth because right when I got off the bus and got my ticket and got upstairs, the train was already there, we're waiting to go. So I just got on the train, it took off, and once on the train, smooth ride, get to BART, and then, let's see. Get my bus ticket for the end bus, wait about 15 minutes, get on that, and then there's a crossover, so I have to get off that bus onto another bus, and then finally get all the way to the west end of San Francisco, where I get off, and I get on my skateboard. I brought 2 skateboards with me because my buddy Eric, his skateboard wasn't going to show up until the following week. So I brought an extra one, so I tucked that under my arm, and I had my backpack on, and I go down the hill towards David's house, and about halfway down the hill, I gotta jump off because it's so fucking steep. And then, so I turn, and then I start going down David's Street, we call him DVD. We go down his street, and that's steep as fuck, so I gotta hop off halfway down, and then get to David's house, and then go inside, and we're hanging out for a little while, just smoking, chilling, and then right when we start to set up to play a game, Eric shows up. Finally. And then we attempt to play a game a little bit and then get bored of that. So we go out to do our originally intended plan, which is to skate. So we took our skateboards and we decided to go down into Golden Gate Park, which is huge. So it's 1 mile deep, but it's 7 miles wide. Anyways, it's a big park. So we go down into the park, and most of this journey is kind of downhill and then uphill, and then downhill and then uphill, and so we're getting kind of tired. And literally the day before was the day Casey and I went on that 4.5 mile hike, so my legs are pretty much exhausted. But finally we get to a point in the park where there's a big ass, I forget what it is, it's just a giant plaza with pillars and stairs galore, and I found a lovely 4-stair to skate. There's a 3-stair right after it. There's a big stage. I forget what it was, but it was incredible. And it's this big open area with a bunch of concrete, and we're like, fucking rad, right? But DVD ends up wanting to smoke, and we'd gotten some beers on the way. So we end up going past this place, and we go up a trail, and we find this spot along this trail. This trail's kind of at the top of a medium hill, sort of. And find a place that's got a bench, and so we just sit down, crack open the beers, and DVD and Eric start just kind of skating in that little spot that we're at. And I join him a little bit, I just do my usual easy warm-ups, like ollie, backside 180, pop shove it, the usual. Try a couple kick flips. And then I help out my homies because they're just kind of getting back into skateboarding after years of not doing it. So help Eric kind of relearn how to ollie properly, and I help DVD kind of relearn his foot positioning on his like he could ollie, but his kind of foot positioning was a little fucked up, so he wasn't getting like a full nice leveled out ollie. He was getting one of those where the nose still stays kind of up and your tail comes up a little. So I got him to start actually like doing the full on jump and like level out the board and everything, and then I got Eric to do a couple of those. And then Eric was working on pop shove-its, and so I decided to start jumping over some skateboards. So I jump over one and then add another one, and I jump over that, and then I try doing it slower. And then I did it both ways, and then I tried 180ing over it, and I got one good 180 over it. That was awesome. Tried a couple lines while Eric and DVD skated, and then stopped and chilled, and then skated and stopped and chilled. And we hung out there for like probably a good half hour, I would say, like a while. Just skating in that kind of one spot, bombing the hill occasionally, and drinking our beers, smoking. And then finally, like, we started to get tired. Days kind of started to come to an end, so we made our way back. And luckily on the way back it was mostly downhill, and there was this one hill that DVD and I bombed that was just, it was so great. It wasn't that steep, but it was a really long hill with a really long curve at the end, so it wasn't like right into a stop sign or anything. Like, it was, you could keep going afterwards for a little while. And man, we got going so fast down that hill. It was such a rush. And like since Friday, I've just been, every time I skate now, I've just been trying to find like the biggest fucking hill in the area I'm at, and just go for it and try to ride down it as far as I can until I bitch out. And it's just been so fun. But yeah, so that amazing hill, and then after that was another one. And so DVD and I got fucking hyped, and we're just having a blast. And Eric fell off on the first one and kind of rolled a little bit, I guess. Got a little hurt, but he's okay. And yeah, man. And so we made our way back and got back to the house and stood outside of DVD's and just like had a cigarette. And then Eric and I went on our way, and he took me back to the BART station, so I didn't have to use the train again or the bus again. But it was awesome, man. It was a fucking great time. I really enjoyed it. I missed having times like that where it's just nothing to do but have fun with my friends, you know, and like go out and do something I really, really enjoy doing, which is skating. I got a clip or two. I ollied down that four stair once we came back, and I was warmed up enough. We found a DVD and I, when we went to the liquor store, we found a really cool hip. I skated this weird rock. It was just fun, man. It was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to do it again. We pretty much we didn't make finite plans, but we pretty much discussed like doing this as often as we can. So I'm hoping that this weekend I can go back out and hang out with DVD and skate some more, and maybe go to a different spot in the city to skate. I'd really like to go to Soma, which is a famous skate park under a freeway overpass in San Francisco. I've been there once with my BMX bike, but I'd love to go back with my skateboard and see what I can do there, since I'm getting a lot more confident on ledges and rails. It was fucking amazing. And then when I was on the BART ride back, I was really fucking tired, and I was watching YouTube videos trying to keep myself asleep, but I ended up stopping and I nodded off, and I thought, no problem, I'll wake up when I hear Dublin Pleasanton, as usually happens. So I hear West Dublin Pleasanton, and I wake up, and I'm like, okay, cool, I got one more stop. And then we're going for a little bit longer, and then I notice we're going for a little bit too long, and I'm like, wait a minute. And so I look at my maps, and I'm going the opposite direction. So I had fallen asleep, gone all the way to my stop, stayed on, and the train turned around, and now I'm heading back out to San Francisco. So I had to get out on the next stop, which is Contra Costa, which is Castro Valley, which isn't that much farther from West Dublin Pleasanton. It's about 15 minutes from the Dublin Pleasanton BART station. But still, and I had Casey picking me up, and it was like about 8 or 9 o'clock. And she hadn't stayed in town, so she drove all the way up her mountain house, and she was just pissed off. Which is a little ridiculous, but I understood. She was just pissed, and I thought the whole thing was pretty funny. And there ended up being this guy at the Castro Valley station who came up to me, and he was like, hey man, do you have a Wi-Fi hotspot? I'm trying to contact my girl so she knows where I am. I'm like, yeah man. And so he pulls out a broken ass tablet, and goes on it and starts, I hook him up to my Wi-Fi hotspot, and he contacts his lady, and then we had like a nice chat, and told Casey pulls up, and I told dude later. But yeah, I've never had that happen to me before. I've never fallen asleep on a BART train and then gone past my stop and then back out. It happened to my buddy Kenny, I guess in like high school. My homies just left him there and he rode all the way back and all the way back again. So we took basically 3 round trips on BART. Pretty funny. But yeah, I've never had that happen to me. And I gotta say, at first I was like really kind of scared and like nervous. I was like, fuck, how far did I go? Where am I? Like, and I was like, well, what if Casey just turns around and gives up? But luckily she's amazing. And I got off at Castro Valley and I was only 1 stop away. So she came out and got me. But that was just unsettling. And I thought that was funny. That was a interesting part of the trip. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, there's the episode for you today. Probably not as long as our other ones, but still a good episode, I feel. Talked about some good stuff. I gave you guys what I do in the mornings now to help myself get ready to this point to be able to do this for you. And hopefully you can learn from what I'm doing now, and hopefully it'll better your life and your mornings, and you can get a better start to the day. We looked through, we looked through some Reddit, or we looked at some funny posts or some posts that make you think. And that was my story of going to San Francisco to skate with my homies, kind of condensed a little bit. Maybe I'll tell a more in-depth version about a certain part of it later, but who knows? But that's our episode for you, episode number 11. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Remember to leave a like on the video and comment down below. Let me know what you think or give me some suggestions for the future. If you're watching this on YouTube, click that subscribe button and hit the little notification bell so you can get notified every day I upload a video, which should be most weekdays. If you're listening to this, you could subscribe to us there on iTunes or on Google Play. And make sure if you do choose to listen to this on iTunes or Google Play, leave us a review so iTunes knows that you likes us, and so we get recommended more often. Yeah, I think that's all I got for you guys. As always, I love and appreciate every single one of you that come and watch and listen to these podcasts and these episodes. Thank you for coming over. Mwah.
Fuck this shit, I'm out. Fuck this shit, I'm out. No thanks. Don't mind me. I'ma just grab my stuff and leave. Excuse me, please. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Nope. Fuck this shit, I'm out. Alright then. I don't know what the fuck just happened, but I don't really care. I'ma get the fuck up out of here. Fuck this shit, I'm out.